Hey everyone, once again, Steve here from CELTAhelper.com, and today I want to get you thinking about what you're going to do with your life after the CELTA. And it's a positive conversation to have, but it's definitely one that's worth having. Let's have a look at 5 different possible career paths after your CELTA, and I should add, they are not all about teaching. Now, the first career path we can think about is management. Now, that might sound a little bit crazy if you're just becoming a teacher for the first time, but there is plenty of scope for becoming a manager in the future in various forms. Now, what you could do is think about, maybe managing a language school in the future. Now, you don't necessarily need any formal qualifications to do that, but obviously having some training in that would help, as well as having worked in that industry or in that background for many years. Now, I know the first language school I worked for, the owner was never a language teacher. He did some to help out in the early days, but he wasn't a language teacher. He was a business owner. Now, I'm not saying that you should just go and become a business person, but what I'm saying is that you can meld the two skills you get from being a teacher and also an interest in business perhaps, and become a manager of some kind. Yes, it could be taking on a franchise of a language school, could be setting up your own, or it could be becoming a manager in a more, language center environment or language academy, wherever it may be. But there's potential to do that, and you can do that further down the line. Now, I know a former colleague of mine is actually doing a master's in education management, and he was a language teacher by trade, so combining those two skill sets. Now, this one probably needs more formal education, but it is there. So you can become a teacher to get that experience, but later on, then you can build up into the management positions, have that much more scope, develop professionally, and fulfill your career goals and ambitions that way. So don't think of the CELTA course as just being a teaching qualification. It can lead you on to things like this in the future for sure. Now, moving on, the second career path after a CELTA you can look into is English for Academic Purposes, or EAP. Now, this is something I did for 7 years, and actually I was quite lucky because most of the time you need a further qualification like a Delta or a Master's to get into these jobs, but in mine I didn't need it, and I didn't have either. However, the vast majority of the time you're going to need it. The EAP field is almost exclusively universities for obvious reasons, academic purposes. But the nice thing about that is that, one, you can get a job in a university environment. And I know, let's say in Anglophone countries, universities are a great place to work. They're a great employer. They've got good pensions. They're generally very secure jobs. Obviously, nowhere is secure, as we know. Recent events, nothing can be certain. But in the scheme of language teaching jobs, universities are a great place to work. So it might be a case that after you've done your CELTA, you need to do a top-up qualification, but you can get into universities further down the line, maybe in a year or two after, and generally they do pay very well. And the nice thing about universities, unlike a lot of these cowboy language schools, they do not discriminate. Okay, if you're a non-native speaker, it doesn't matter. As long as your English is good enough, they take you on merit. And that is something I think is really valuable for many of you out there. Obviously, there could be elements of visas to think about, but they're a really good employer, and I can vouch for that having worked there. And it's also a great place to be then if you do want to do research in the future or be around researchers, that research community. Now, the third career path to talk about here is actually publishing. Now, it might not strike you as an obvious one, but as I've mentioned in other videos, I have a friend, and I know actually a couple of people who've gone from being English language teachers post-CELTA to then working in the publishing industry. Now, they got in through, working with things like English language teaching textbooks, and they used their industry knowledge, experience to help them with that. One of them has since gone into a management position that is extremely well paid as well. So not only helping to shape the content of English language textbooks and doing still this role in education, but also melding it with an interest in business and management. So there's lots of scope for this, perhaps more so in Anglophone countries, but you can also look in, if you're of the persuasion where you like things like editing and proofreading, could be a really good fit for you. Also, if you like content creation, there's another option there. But these publishing houses, although they're private sector, they may not be perhaps as secure an employer as a university, let's say in the UK, but they still generally got good career progression opportunities, and they can lead on to many other things and even industries. So have a look, see if publishing might be for you. There's jobs that say you could have a look at things like development editors are ones I've seen that are a sort of standard entry-level job that you can go into from there and take it where you like. Have a look online, see what jobs are out there in that kind of field if that's something that interests you, and it might be one future path you could follow. The next one on the list is actually to become a freelancer. Now, you could be a freelance teacher. You could also do other things that combine to help you make that living. Now, obviously this one is perhaps the least secure option, but it might suit your lifestyle and your needs and give you a lot of flexibility that you want. Yes, you could be a freelance teacher. There's lots of ways you can do that. The clearest way to start is by looking online and finding relevant teaching platforms where you can find possible students. Now that could take a while to build up, and it's probably something you want to do in concert with other activities and jobs. Maybe you teach for a language school part-time and do freelance part-time. I know a lot of people have found students from their language schools, but the catch there is a lot of the language schools will write into their contract that you can't take their students away. So just be careful about that and cover yourself. Because even I've had students asking me for private lessons. I didn't really go down that route myself because I didn't want the hassle, but I know people have done it and it can be very lucrative. It can also be very rewarding because that one-on-one motivated student, but also there is a business side of things where you do have to think about the money and payments and so on. You can combine that then with doing other things, like you could do freelance proofreading, which is something I've done, and being an English language teacher definitely helps. I worked for a company called scribendi.com. I'll put a link below if you're interested, and they offer, people can work for them what they call telecommute editor and proofreader, and you do jobs as they come in off a job board, and you have a turnaround time and they give you the amount, and it's generally more for a shorter turnaround, etc. That could combine with English language teaching or any other language teaching if you like, and also other freelance opportunities. In this case, let's say materials design is another one that I know of, whereby you can design materials for publishing houses and then work on that freelance basis and send back the materials to them, which they then develop to work into their books. I should add, as well as doing Scribendi, before I forget, I also did a bit of proofreading for the My English Labs courses, I think they were called, Pearson again, and they send you the course content to look over, you check it for errors, you log the errors and so on. That paid quite nicely and it was work from home. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough hours to keep me going, but it was still a nice little bonus. I think it was £20 an hour UK, which is about $25 US, which was not bad for what I had to do. It wasn't too stressful, but I just couldn't get enough hours to keep that one going. Either way, there's different options out there, so you can see which one interests you, or you can combine maybe all three of them and then live that freelancer lifestyle. Number 5 is actually a newer one, and that is learning technology, and that is where I am currently. Okay, so learning technology, as we all know, is becoming more and more prevalent, more important for English language teachers, especially in light of the recent pandemic, but also it's just this ever-growing industry as well. Now, in my case, I said I worked at a university before doing English for academic purposes. I've since then transitioned into a learning technology role. I'm what's called an academic developer, so I'm focused on the digital learning platform we have and helping the teachers to exploit that for their learning. I should say academics rather than teachers, university staff, okay? But working at the university and working with these platforms helped me to get my foot in the door to do this, because I gained the experience in we were using Blackboard, which was the VLE, virtual learning environment, and now I'm on the project that has brought in the new one called Canvas. Okay, so this was my interest in technology combined with experience in teaching and using it, all led me into this new career path. I'm currently on a learning technology career path and I really enjoy it. It's, the thing that I really get excited about is combining technology with education and how you can make it better and enhance all. You might need to do further qualifications to get this, but at the moment it's such a rapidly growing industry, there's not a huge amount. It's more about experience, and that's another thing I like about it, is that If you've got a few years and you've shown interest and even ability, then you can get into it fairly easily. Again, in the UK, it is something that is best, I would say, at the moment in a university because of the pay and so on, stability, but also there are opportunities in publishing houses and elsewhere. I mean, even, things like in the UK, the National Health Service, they need learning technologists and so on, all these opportunities that you could go on to with teaching experience and a bit of technology on your CV. Now, what I would like you to do right now is actually to leave a comment below. If you have any other career paths you can think of, mention them in the comments, or if there's anything from this video that you're going to take away and actually try and action yourself, leave that in the comments. And also, if you enjoyed, give us a like and a subscribe, and I will see you in another video. Best of luck with everything. Thanks for watching.